Since the roof line is very low, we are going to be putting in a sail, connecting it to the house just outside the deck. And last year we put those benches in, super comfy, best thing we ever did on our deck. Gives it more space, and we have a lot more people we can sit there.
Okay, so Lisa and I, like she said before, are putting in a shade sail that we bought off of Amazon over our deck. And I want to come over here and look at some of the tools that we're doing. These are the directions for the sunshade. And, you know, basically we're going to go with this pattern right here. I don't know if we can see it well enough, but we're going to be anchoring as high to the roof line as we possibly could or can, because you saw how short it was. Thankfully we're short people, but we'd like to make it comfortable for everybody else. And then off the deck, we're going to be planting 2 posts in the ground. That should be quite comical watching Lisa and I do this, and measuring it correctly. This is the box of hardware that came with the kit. The anchor screws for the wall and the attachments to the wall seem to be pretty small, and they don't have a very deep thread, so we're going to go with a much more stout anchor screw. We're using our construction screws that we use around the house for all of our other projects, and you can see that this thing is got a much more aggressive thread. It's much longer. It's going to anchor to the house and hopefully be secure in a much better way. So we're going to start by anchoring these to the points in the wall, and then we will start digging holes with our hole digger and auger and start the rest of the project. So these are not meant to be permanent. We do have future plans for the house and for the deck. And I gotta say, I've never dug holes so easy in our yard as these 2 holes. It was a blessing. The hole is presently about 2 foot 5 inches. I'm gonna probably put 2 or 3 inches of rock at the bottom. That's kind of for drainage, so the actual post isn't sitting on the dirt itself, even though it is pressure treated. And then we'll backfill these holes and adjust the brackets up and down on the pole until we have our sunshade exactly the way we want it. And so right now we're anchoring to the wall, to the house, the fastener where the turnbuckle will go to tension the sail. And of course, in the words of always seek to overbuild, I am using aggressive screws that are super deep and super anchory rather than the other stuff.
Are these real words?
Well, they're real words that I like to use. Hi, welcome to This Is My Idea. Actually, it's my wife's idea, but you get the point. So I'm standing underneath our sun sail, or it's actually called a sunshade, and you can see that it's droopy. One of the things that we had to deal with is the fact that we have a very low roof line, and there's not much that we can do about the structure of our house and using the sunshade, but we need to figure out a way to pull this up and then take the droopiness out of it so it's at least a little bit more comfortable for people to walk under and get out of the sun. We have ideas for that. So these are the tools that we will be using for the fix or adjustment to our sun sail to get it so it isn't quite as much of a droop in the center. This little clip is a fascinating design that is actually meant for tarps or other things, but basically you can see the jaws, but it has this little ratchet slide, and as you slide them forward, the clamps get tighter. Around the sunshade is a fabric edge that has reinforcement, so we will use the clip on that reinforcement edge and then buckle to this. This is the adjustment double-ended hook that came with our kit. since we are coming off the wall of the house and we need a little bit more distance and length to reach the tarp and hook up, we bought extra long ones. So these will actually be connected to this clamp on the tarp, and we'll be able to tension the tarp to the wall. On the wall will be this D-ring. And these actually came with the kit initially, but we have to get a few more to add for these new anchors that we're putting in. And last but not least, let's talk about the screws for those D-ring anchors. This screw, I don't know if you can see it, this screw came with the kit, and you can see how fine of a thread that is, and it's also not very long. Now, this screw would have to go through our siding, our Tyvek, and into the structure of the wall. I'm just not convinced it can take much tension because it's just not enough of an anchor. Lisa and I just simply love this construction screw. It's got a self-augering tip, it's got a very deep thread, and it's long enough to go through all those different layers and anchor in the solid wood. So the first thing we're gonna do, D-rings to the wall where we want them with the construction anchors. These anchors are going in on either side of the window on the wall of the deck. The ends of the tarp will be anchored up higher onto the gutter line. All right, here's the finished product. The job is done. Anchors have been fastened to the house and plenty of room. I agreed, I'm a short guy, but at least it works.
Adding a few solar lights to our sail posts. We have these on our other larger gated fence post. Super easy to install. You can do it with or without the skirt on the bottom. I have the skirt on the bottom because our 5x4 gate posts have the skirt, so I figured I'd try to match. I might want to come back to this and frame underneath here with some wood all the way around. Super easy to install. Good to go there. Put the reflector. Make sure that my solar light is clicked on. Pop it in there. Somebody's upset. Make sure the lips click on. And this one produces a nice warm light, which we like. Life of a mini farm. If you like this video, we have a few more and we'll be coming up with some more. Please press like and subscribe.
Excellent, I like that.